My name is Sean Burns, and I direct student programs at the Blum Center for Developing Economies at UC Berkeley. I'm also a lecturer in international and area studies, and the course that we're going to talk about today, Social Movements, Urban History, and the Politics of Memory, is also cross-listed in Peace and Conflict Studies and is part of the American Cultures Engaged Scholars Program. The course is organized around really three broad themes, and then within that it has several specific units. So let me talk about these three broad themes. First, historically. In a general sense, this is a class about historiography, about the narratives of the history of the San Francisco Bay Area. And specifically, we look at that from the perspective of how social movements have profoundly contributed to shaping the culture and politics and economy and ecology and geography of the Bay Area, and in reverse, how this San Francisco Bay Area has so profoundly shaped those social movements and their identities and their politics. The second theme is more sociological. I'm very interested in identity formation within movement spaces. Specifically, what sorts of racial and ethnic and gendered and work identities are drawn from to build movements, and also how are those identities reshaped, reconfigured through organizing efforts. And so that second theme, that more sociological question, is put in relationship to the history, to really situating for example, the arrival of African American communities in large numbers in the World War II context, to situate in a larger history as we do indigenous peoples in California, and the impact of European contact and genocide in the 18th, 19th, and 20th centuries, and their continued struggles now to enact decolonial projects to build community health. The third part, the third theme, is really philosophical or political in the sense that we take very seriously knowledge production in these movements. That is to say, seeing movements as really generative sites of the creation of new kinds of knowledge. What do social movements in Bay Area history have to tell us about their understandings of race in California, about their understandings of capitalism and its formation in California, about the urban formation of the various cities and rural areas that make up the Bay Area? What do social movements have to say about gender, about nationalism, about war, about sustainability and ecology? All of those things are central to this course. So we engage with our community partners, we engage with these histories of social movements in the Bay Area through this lens of the knowledge that they have produced, but also, very importantly, as we'll get to, the attempts through collaboration of students in partnership creating movement-relevant knowledge. We partnered with a number of organizations that have been at the center of growing community health, growing urban Indian identity, and building a kind of link between historical resistance to colonialism and contemporary efforts to protect sacred sites and lands. We partnered with Indian People Organizing for Change, an organization that's been at the forefront of raising awareness around sacred sites around the Bay Area and shell mounds, and really the link between land and Native American culture. We partnered with the Intertribal Friendship House that similarly has been both engaged with those other organizations, but a central place for Indians relocated here to the Bay Area from so many different parts of the country to build community, to rebuild a kind of pan-tribal identity. We partnered with organizations like APEN, Asian Pacific Environmental Network. We partnered with the Causa Justa, Just Cause. We had speakers from a range of organizations that have been so powerful in the Bay Area, including the Center for Independent Living, DREDF. A central partner for us was QUIDO, that's Communities United in Defense of the Olmstead Act, a Supreme Court decision in 1999 that was so important for legally establishing the right of all people to independent living. So in addition to all these community-based partners, we also had a kind of overarching partnership with an organization called Shaping San Francisco, which is really the sort of preeminent and cutting-edge community history organization in the Bay Area. And they have the phenomenal online public wiki archive known as FoundSF, where the work that our students are doing in collaboration with our partners will likely find its kind of final home in terms of having the experience of generating movement-relevant history and sharing that with a broader population, of sharing this research that has been done, beyond our classroom, beyond the walls of Berkeley campus. So Shaping San Francisco has been a really important partnership, and I really hope through building out a new archive that's focused on addressing injustice in the Bay Area and getting more professors on this campus interested in shaping dimensions of their classes to provide content for this public archive of Bay Area social movement history. Movements that I felt like in the broader literature have been under-addressed, and in my own personal history, this course focuses on movements that I feel like I had not significantly had a chance to explore and learn about and learn from. At the heart of that is an attempt to really place the concerns and questions of communities as central to our research and teaching, to, in a very alive and real way, bring the public into the classroom and bring the classroom out into the publics, out into the communities. So it kind of reconceptualizes what kinds of knowledge matters, who speaks. It sort of decenters certainly the professor from the process of knowledge making, and places our partners and our community allies as central. And for me, this is both about, in a specific sense for us here at UC Berkeley, the public history and character of this institution as a land-grant institution, and the Morrill Act, and the 1960s, plan for higher education, and how central it is that we remain connected to the diverse range of communities in California and make this university accessible to them, and that we produce knowledge that is relevant to their lives and their struggles for a more just and equitable and sustainable world. But in a broader sense, it's really about understanding the university, as the word itself indicates as a vital place for the whole society. So whether a public or private university, that what happens in higher education really at its most basic level should be about social justice, should be about equity, should be about the broader health of this planet. I mean, what else is a more inspiring imperative for education than social justice? I really, I mean, of course there are other purposes, but ultimately, you know, economic generation or you know, or job skills, or just, you know, our own existential and human development, all of those matter, but really it feels to me that like the sort of the work of the university in generating broader social justice efforts is the most inspiring vision.